What can go wrong in the prison library? I mean, come on, you have a librarian assigned there to watch the inmates, and then you have the law clerks. I mean, they're there to work and do a job that's much needed, right? So what can go wrong? Well, a lot of stuff can go wrong in the prison library. That's why we need to have shakedowns of the library at unannounced times. We need to have security checking on the library. Hopefully, there's an officer assigned in the library. I know with short staffing, that's not always happening. So then you leave it up to this librarian you've hired, who is not security trained or trained in security issues. And unfortunately, in many cases that I've come across, we run through librarians like hotcakes because we lose them, because they end up doing favors for the inmates, some of them. It's a mess in the library, and the law clerks, are there because it is mandated. If you look at your policies and procedures, our Chapter 33 in Florida talks about law librarians and why we have them. We have them there because inmates have to have access to law books and ways to communicate from the prison and put in for appeals from the prison. And these law clerks have to go through some special training in order to be a law clerk, because they are there to assist inmates with their cases and help them with some case law, help them file papers through the prison back to the courts. Indigent inmates that have no money, the law clerks assist them and help them out. Now, many law clerks do what they're supposed to do, and many of them do not. So let's talk about things that can go wrong in the prison library. Well, number one, I talked about shaking down the library. We used to get a canine every now and then and run it through the library, and lo and behold, we had one hit on a shelf of books, but it just so happened that the canine's paw actually hit the one book and knocked it to the ground. I'm sure it was just hitting in that general area, telling us, hey, there's something there. But it was so funny because the book fell to the ground, and we were on a drug interdiction that weekend, and we decided to hit the library, and we picked up the book, and lo and behold, there was marijuana hidden in it. So one of the things that the library is used for by inmates, other than checking out a book and reading it, or using the law library for legal research, is to hide contraband. Another great contraband hiding area is the library. Hey, I've left some marijuana in the book titled such and such over in section 350 or whatever. You can put some marijuana in the book, put it on the shelf. Another inmate comes by a few minutes later and gets their dope, right? That way they're not seen handing the dope off hand to hand, whatever. Those type things happen. Some just use the law library as a hiding place for their drugs. Found a few weapons in the library, but mostly drugs and money, cash money and drugs. Now, there is a little helping hand in the law library many times, and it is the law clerks. We busted several law clerks that were put there for a reason to help assist inmates with their pending cases or appeals and their law research, but they're also running a scam inside the library. So the law clerks can be pretty slick at times, okay? They're in there acting like they're jailhouse lawyers and they know everything and they're going to help everybody. That's fine. It's something that is mandated and it has to be done. But there are also a lot of these law clerks you have to keep an eye on. What I like to do when I was working in investigations, I like to check out some of those phone calls those law clerks were making, just to listen in sometimes. And I only did it when I was assigned a case where, there was some contraband coming in and we had someone give us a hint, someone give us a statement that that the law clerks might be involved or something with the law library. That was enough for me to say, okay, give me a list of all the law clerks' names and DC numbers, and bam, I would hit the phone and check out some of their phone calls. And it worked sometimes. Sometimes we would pick up little hints. These law clerks are lots of times up to bad things, folks. We have to think like a criminal to catch the criminal at times. So as you're working on the front line of security, we need you to go and make your rounds, and we need you to watch these guys, and we need you to bust them when you can, and when you can catch them doing things they're not supposed to be doing, so we can get them out of that law library and try again with another inmate law clerk, see if they can do a better job. But sometimes now we've had issues where the law clerks, which are, you ever notice the law clerks are fast talkers? Fast talkers, like an attorney, huh? Anyway, they can be fast talkers, and they'll have that librarian wrapped around their finger. The librarian may not even realize that they're wrapped around the law clerk's fingers, and they're using that librarian to cover up things which sometimes the librarian doesn't know, and sometimes the librarian knows. Why? Because we've had several love affairs between the librarian and inmate law clerks, where they're together every day, and the fast talkers and the silver-tongued devils get the law clerk to start falling in love with them and doing things for them and bringing them things and bringing them contraband. So the library is a hot spot, folks. It's not this quiet little library with people reading and studying like you see downtown. You know, when you go to the library downtown, the prison library is always proven to me that it can be a very hot spot for contraband affairs with staff members, a meeting place to exchange drugs by the use of the books, and so forth. I'd love to hear your stories. I know a lot of you out there on the front line have got good stories on what can go wrong in the prison library. Tell us what you've found in the library. Tell us who you've busted in the library. Tell us who you've had go down well, maybe that's not a good word. Tell us who has been caught having relationships with inmates in the law library. Sorry, no pun intended. Anyway, I like to bring up different areas of the prison from time to time to get everyone thinking, because you know the prison is a little city. Yeah, you've got your chapels, you've got your library, you've got your canteen, which is like the grocery store, you've got your sports arena, you know, the gym and the rec field, the rec yard. I mean, it's a little city, folks, and if you take each piece and break it down and concentrate on hitting these different areas of the prison, we can control contraband better. We can catch these folks doing things they're not supposed to be doing and put a stop to it. And if we can catch them with the contraband, we can charge them and give them an outside charge. If we catch them having an affair with an inmate, we can arrest them and get them out of the prison. Hopefully we're not letting them resign and go home. I don't like that. They need to go to jail when they have an affair with an inmate. Anyway, just some food for thought today. What can go wrong in the prison library? Please give us your thoughts and your experiences with things that have occurred in your library at the prison. Thanks a lot. Gary York, True Prison Stories.